Hey everybody, it is a cold, wet, rainy day here on the homestead in November, and I can think of nothing better than to go into the kitchen and make up some comfort food from my homegrown and picked and shelled fresh beans. So stay tuned. So we're in the kitchen now, and I have been preparing all of the ingredients that I could think of to make a really wonderful variety of textures and flavors to go with my beans. And there are at least 5 varieties of beans in this grouping, so I can't wait to show you this. You could also make this in your Instant Pot, but I am going to use one traditional pot. I love one-pot meals, and a dish like this is great. The best thing about it is it's great for leftovers. So let's get started and let me show you all the ingredients. Okay, here's the star attraction. These are my beans, and you can see in here some of the lima beans, and here are the Worcester red lima. These are a white bean that is called a Hutterite bean that's supposed to make really rich soup and stews with this bean. This is the Rio Zappa, and I think there are some purple hull peas in here too somewhere, and I think there are some rattlesnake pole beans as well. But it's all mixed in, and I am going to cook this for the same amount of time. But what I'm going to do is start off with my sausage. This is fresh pork sausage that I got from Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed. I am going to use this as my meat. You don't have to use meat. You could use turkey, poultry. Of course, you can use bacon. Whatever you like. Now, I have dehydrated some okra, and I could rehydrate this and use it, but I only have this much from my okra crop. So I'm going to save this because I have much more frozen okra than I do dehydrated. So I will rinse this with water to knock off the ice before I put it in. And these are some chilies that the man that worked for me last weekend is growing. Aren't they beautiful? So I am going to use one of those. Now, if you don't like hot, you won't use that, but I have chopped up one of those red chilies. And of course, I've got some pink Himalayan salt crystals, and I've got peppercorns. I like to put them in whole to soups and stews. And then if you bite into it, it's just an amazing mouthful of pepper flavor. But of course you can use ground. And I also have coriander. These are cilantro or coriander seeds. And I like to use them whole for the same reason. You can also use ground. I'm going to be putting in carrots, fresh carrots, and fresh onion. And I just made up the amounts. I'm going to use a little bit of oil to kick things off when I cook the sausage. And I may chop up a fresh tomato. These are 2 of my very last fresh tomatoes. I'm also going to use bay leaf. I did get this at the store. I did not grow it, but I thought bay leaf is such a comfort feeling when you have that in a stew. So that's going to be my herb for this dish. You could also rehydrate some dehydrated tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that I dehydrated, and they look fabulous, and they smell wonderful. So you could make this more of a tomato base. And also I'm going to add some, this is dehydrated okra ground up into a powder. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to give it some thicker consistency. So let's get started. I'm going to use the oil and the meat, and I'm going to cook that and remove that. And then I'm going to put the beans in and cook them and add all of the other ingredients to that as these start to get tender. I'm going to add my oil. This is a couple of tablespoons of avocado oil, which is processed for high heat. Now I'm going to add the onions and let them cook till transparent with the sausage. Okay, I'm going to take this out now and it will finish cooking with the beans. I've added 2 cups of water to, it's about a little over a cup of beans. And so we'll get started with that, bring that up to a boil and turn that down to simmer. I don't know about you, but I love the smell of fresh beans cooking. Okay, I just tested the beans and they were starting to get tender, so I added the carrots. And I'm also going to add fresh tomato. These are my last 2 small tomatoes and they actually smelled very good. So I'm going to put them in. I'm going to add some coriander. This is to taste. Salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to add my chilies. This is my sausage and onions. Put that back in. And it's starting to look like a meal. Okay. And I'm going to put in my bay leaf. You always take your bay leaf out after you cook with it. You don't eat it. I'll let that come to a slow boil again and then I'll cover it and turn it back down. That is smelling so good. Okay, this is looking just great. And I'm going to take a taste. Just want to see if the carrots and beans are tender. So now I'm going to add my okra, which I poured warm water over to knock off the frost. And then I'm also going to add my okra powder. And this is really going to thicken it up and turn it into a comfy stew. Won't take long for that okra to cook, so I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes and I'm going to test it. Okay, I just tested an okra and it still had a little bit of its crunch, which I love. And we are going to try this. Doesn't that look yummy? And you can see that the broth is thicker because of that okra powder. Yum. So I thought it would be a great idea to get my fire started while the beans were cooking. and the handle that closes my wood stove fell off, and all the little washers and everything, all the parts just flew out into the room, and I had to search for all that and put it back together, which I did, and it works even better now. But let's give this a try. I can't wait. Oh wow, all those flavors. I taste the bay leaf, the sausage, the beans, the carrot, ooh, the chili. That hit the back of the throat. Ooh, that's good. So if you're a fan of gumbo, you're gonna love this. And if you're not a fan of okra, you could substitute it for something else, like corn. Or you could use greens, fresh greens from your garden, collards or chard. So I hope you enjoyed it, and take it away, Kaye. Thanks so much, everybody. Your support means a great deal to my channel, and I look forward to bringing you more inspirational, educational, and entertaining videos right here on my Tennessee homestead. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss anything right here. If you enjoyed this video, please watch these. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you in the next video.